all these rocks right here that this is right where I landed, and being back up here, it like start to remember stuff that I'd kind of forgotten about. But I remember bouncing off of my rib cage. Scott said he saw me and like actually bounce off of the ground. And I was conscious throughout the whole process, so like I remember it all. I remember like seeing the sky as I was falling, and I remember hitting. I remember the impact. I rolled over and got on my hands and knees, and I looked at Scott, and like I thought that was it. I think I kind of reached for him because I couldn't breathe. I'd broken a rib and bruised my lung. I remember his eyes being wide, and I probably sat there for like 5 or 10 seconds not breathing, and finally I got a little bit of air, and he put me on my back and called 911.
How far did he fall?
I would probably say about 12 to 15 feet.
Okay.
Just laid here looking up at the tree for about an hour. Happy that I wasn't paralyzed.
So we finally made it back up here with Joe, taking down tree stands. I don't think we're gonna let him climb today, but kind of scout this area for next year, check and see if there's any sheds laying around. So hopefully Joe and I can get back in the woods at this spot next year and have a successful hunt.
I can remember last year going into this fall location after it happened, and it was pretty cool because my friends came out there with me, and I remember eventually just getting kind of sick to my stomach, and I just walked away from everybody else. I knew at that moment that, you know, I had healed and I would continue to heal physically. What I was more worried about was how I would heal psychologically. I knew that I could still be a hunter, I could still be a bow hunter. I had gone down to Arkansas and shot a deer at Bo's place out of a blind. But part of being a bow hunter that appeals so much to me is the adventure of scouting, climbing trees, being elevated, hunting from an elevated position with a bow and arrow.
Got the mom wagon.
Almost as enjoyable as the actual shot or the excitement of killing an animal itself. If it were tomorrow, would I be able to do this? Would I be able to climb a tree? Would I be able to hang a tree stand? And it really, I never thought to myself, I won't be able to do it, but I also always wondered, like, if it was tomorrow, what would I do? And how would I feel? Would I be able to actually get elevated again? And then when that time came in August, it was actually pretty cool because, you know, not only was Scott with me, but my family came out to the farm, and at the same time we were working on building a food plot. We walked down, and that was my first time putting on a harness and getting up in a tree again. And I climbed up and put up the climbing sticks by myself and got up to about 15 feet. And it was a very proud moment for me and a big part of my psychological recovery. And I think there's certainly more to this story because it's a long archery season, and there will certainly be many trees to climb in the coming months.
Hopefully this is going to be a good season, and just can't wait to get back in the tree. It's always exciting this time of year, just wondering what's going to happen and what stories are going to unfold, and I don't know, it's always fun. So hopefully it turns out the way we plan, and we'll have some big bucks on the ground.
This would require a lot of changing of the environment around here. It's always really fun to, like this part of the process, going in and picking out the tree that we want to use. We've been seeing a buck this year travel between this spot and another spot where we have a covert camera, and we're pretty hopeful that he'll stay active and social going into the early season, and this is kind of where we want to be for the early season in September, to target that buck quickly and hope that he continues to be here. We know there are a lot of does on this farm as well, so we should have some action out here. We're going to hang a stand today and have 2 different spots, one for a north wind and one for a south wind.
It's early, way early, but not as early as what it was supposed to be when we left. So we got to get moving. We are headed to Henrietta Turkey Fest 2017. We always have a really, really good time down there with those folks and their fundraiser for Clay County. Man, one thing that I love about traveling is other drivers. I mean, I really, really like other drivers. Officially checked in at the caboose in Henrietta. I guess most of the teams have already checked in. They're early this year, which they really liked. And we are now headed due south to meet up with Forrest at the Baldwin Ranch and kind of get a feel for the layout of the land and where the turkeys are going to be, and maybe set up a couple of blinds and, you know, just get ready to go to the roost tonight and hit it hard first thing in the morning. Well, standing here looking at the world champion bird from last year, that's a big bird. Had 3 beards, scored 93 or something like that.
And there was like this groan from everybody, like, ah. I was like, what?
But that bird came off of the ranch that we're hunting on this year.
I said, it's the home of the world championship bird, man.
That's right.
We're going to have it.
That's right. Well, we're going to do our best to make you a repeat. So I'd say our odds are pretty good that there's big birds like that still out there. So it just makes me even that more excited.
Sanzenbacher Ranch was established in 1873 by the Sanzenbacher family, who came over from Germany, went through Philadelphia and then out to California and then back here to Clay County to settle. It's been a cow-calf operation since the beginning in 1873, and my family first came to the ranch in the 50s when my dad's aunt married Carly Sanzenbacher, and our family has been running it since 1976 as a cow-calf operation.
The sun has finally popped up. We've heard some birds gobble this morning, but they seem like they're quite a ways off. So me and Scott decided to get out of the blind and kind of drive around the ranch to see if we could see any birds out in the fields or anything, and just really kind of do a little bit more scouting because they weren't making a whole lot of noise. We were up on the top just looking at a field, and I heard a gobble behind us, and so we came back to the truck and we grabbed the call. And I called just a couple of times and he fired off. I called one more time and he fired off again. And he's just right down here. So we're gonna see if we can't make this happen. I'm gonna be on him. That was a lot of fun. It didn't work out. I didn't get a shot. The only shot that I really had was one just real quick, about a 15-second opening, and they were at 50 plus. So we're driving back to the lodge in Forest. Forest sent Scott a text that said, the crows have the toms hammering from the roost right now, right down from the lodge. And it was definitely a different year down here. The weather was a lot different. It's really warm this year, but more than that, the wind has just really picked up, and it's been tough to deal with. We had some success finding some birds, we just didn't have a lot of success at getting shots at birds. I finally did get one shot. We are giving it one last shot. The wind has really picked up. About a 45-yard shot in the 20-mile-an-hour wind, and apparently this guy right here isn't that skilled because I completely missed.
HuntCo did a great job working the land, working up and down each location where we knew the birds were, and it wasn't for a lack of effort in getting a bird into view. Just one.
The experience going out today with HuntCo was awesome. It was a great time, awesome guys to be around, great stories and a lot of knowledge. We just couldn't make everything work today.